I won't use a number, and I'm here to tell you what Guacamelee is and why you should play it. Guacamelee is a Luchador-themed Metroid-vania style beat-em-up. You play as Juan, a simple farmer living in a Mexican village who is in love with El Presidente's daughter. That's the only name that the game gives her, by the way. Anyway, the village is suddenly attacked by this undead skeleton guy named Carlos Calaca. He's trying to kidnap El Presidente's daughter because evil bullshit. Juan bravely stands up to Calaca and is promptly killed. You explore the land of the dead for a bit, and then... Armed with a magical luchador mask that grants Juan super luchador powers because of reasons, and guided by the mask's spirit Tostada, Juan must rescue his would-be girlfriend and stop Calaca's evil plans. Honestly, the story's pretty standard fare, but it's written well enough that it stays interesting and funny throughout the whole game. Initially, combat consists of a handful of combos and some ultra-satisfying grapple moves. Most of the skills you unlock that allow you to explore more of the environment also expand your options in combat. This is an extremely clever way to gradually introduce more complicated combos to the player without overwhelming them. Platforming sections also make up a large chunk of the game. They can actually get pretty damn challenging, but it's incredibly forgiving with how much damage you take when you fall and with spawn points, so it's not a huge deal. Co-op is integrated almost perfectly. The second player plays as Tostada, whose moveset is focused on kicks as opposed to Juan's punch-focused fighting style. It's entirely drop in, drop out. The second player gets every upgrade that the first player gets. Boss fights are perhaps the most memorable part of this game for me. Each boss feels unique, cleverly designed, and decently challenging. It also helps that each of them have interesting personalities and quirks to them. True to Metroid-vania form, there's collectibles to be found, and backtracking is required if you want to get them all. Collectibles consist of chests which contain money to buy upgrades with, health chunks which expand your life bar when you find enough, stamina chunks which allow you to perform more special moves once you collect enough, intenso chunks which expand your intenso meter, I'll explain that in a bit, and mask pieces. There are also a handful of rather straightforward side quests. This game is actually incredibly easy to 100%, aside from a few difficult challenges. There are actually very few collectibles to get compared to other games in the genre, but if you really don't feel like grabbing everything, at least be sure to get all of the mask pieces, as getting all of them changes which ending you get. And just an FYI, you're supposed to go into the last battle missing one mask piece. My only complaint with this game is that the backtracking can drag quite a bit, since the movement improving move you get is one of the last ones. But it's a minor complaint that's completely outweighed by the game's excellent writing, impactful combat, and colorful art style. Guacamelee is available for download on PS3 and Vita, but you should avoid those versions if you can, because the Super Turbo Championship Edition, available on PC, Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox 360, contains 2 entirely new areas, a new boss battle, a new exploration ability, and the Intenso ability, which is essentially a rage mode that allows you to completely wreck your enemies when used. That said, if you have suggestions for any future videos, questions about this game, or want to share your thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you want to find out about some other cool shows and games in the future, you can subscribe. This has been I Won't Use a Number, keep loving what you love, and I'll see you next time with something else.